Hello Aquarius, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann. The back of the book is the website. At the bottom of that, or the last sentence, at the end of the last sentence, chris-ann with an e.com. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards. You are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website is rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A as an apple, U as an umbrella. Of course, feel free to freeze frame if you want any of that information. If you need to, of course. This is going to be one of those weird ones. I think I've shuffled these right side up and upside down. Or whatever, you know what I mean. Okay. A lot of upside down cards, some right side up. Okay, so can we get a little clarity on the Queen of Swords, because it's upside down. Alright. Knight of Cups and the Sun card on top of the Queen of Swords reversed. I feel like you're shutting down communication. But by shutting down communication, you're keeping things the way they are. Things are not progressing or going to the next level. Right now it kind of feels like that's what you want, but I don't feel good about it. But it might be kind of like, well, that's what I want, so that's what I'm doing. You're shutting down communication. It's not allowing the situation to grow. I feel like you're holding something back. It just feels like it's confusing the situation. Because there's opportunities that are supposed to come forward for you. And I get like the Eight of Cups reversed is telling me you're not willing to move on to the next situation. But ironically, the current situation has run its course. You may have even convinced someone to not let this change. You might even have an ally with this, and you've kept somebody else from moving forward as well, or you've kept them from changing something. You've fortified your position with somebody else. I keep getting the same analogy. I just feel bad about it for some reason. So it doesn't have to be this way. It could be work, could be a friendship, could be whatever. But for me, what I keep seeing is like a relationship where maybe you're married to somebody, and you're still doing what you're supposed to do, but I don't feel like we don't really do anything together. Like, we don't really want to hang out, but we keep living the life as if we're married. Even though we technically are, it doesn't really feel it. It's almost like maybe we're not seeing other people or anything like that, but we're not really living a life together. We're just kind of like roommates that just happen to have this connection. It almost feels like that. It feels like roommates. And maybe even the communication doesn't really happen here. It feels like there's lack of communication, which is astounding for Aquarius, but it could also be in the sense of like, it never goes the right way anyway, so why bother? That's just an analogy. This might also, if we're going to use the job analogy, it's almost like you don't even care for the job anymore, but you're so used to it and you get the money you want from it that you've kind of made it so other people kind of support you in your endeavors. You're not really enjoying it anymore, though. You're just kind of going through the motions. And it's kind of like, well, I guess this is how this is supposed to be. But it doesn't really feel good anymore. And you have people supporting you, but I feel like, again, there's lack of communication. Other opportunities coming in and stuff like that, they're just not talking to you about. I feel like there's a lack of transfer of information. When I keep looking at this, there's somebody else where like there's the lack of like we could be technically talking, but there's no value of information being exchanged. Like, for example, if somebody passed away in my family and I had a partner, telling that partner, they passed away, that's a, transfer of information value. Not saying that is like, why wouldn't you tell your partner that? But like not even telling your partner that. That's like the lack of communication could be to that level where somebody passes away and they just don't even tell you. They're kind of like, well, you're not related to them. What do you care? And it may be like, well, we're married, so it does kind of matter. You should have told me. It could be a work situation, though, where people are just not communicating things that they should be. You're not asking questions for reasons. You have an opportunity coming forward. I think that's why, if this reading is hitting for you, the purpose of it is to see that there's an opportunity coming forward for you. It's a weak opportunity to start with. You're not expecting it, but you are very gifted with finding the truth out. If you want to find it, it's time to find it. The way this energy is currently feeling, you might just let it pass by, which is totally your business. If that's what you decide is right, then that's what's going to happen, and that's that. No judgment on that, naturally. You want to do what you want to do, and that's that. If you're seeing this reading, though, I feel like they're kind of like, at least explore it to make sure you don't want it. Because the energy in this current situation is low. It's low and it's not serving you. You're not living your best life here. Life was meant to be a lot better than it currently is. They're saying just explore this option. Just explore it, find out what's really going on there. Find out the truth. If you explore that option, you're going to see that there are vast rewards there waiting for you. It doesn't happen if you don't go after them. It doesn't even happen if you don't research it, because if you don't believe in it, you're not going to go for it, obviously. So you got to research it to find out that it's worth it, and that could change things for you. The way your current energy is going, you're holding on, you're not letting go. But there's still nothing growing. It's like when I see this upside down, it's like a barren field. There's technically things there, but they're not popping through the soil, and it doesn't look like they're gonna. It's like they've been there for too long, and they haven't shown, and it looks like they never will. If you have the lack of communication, nothing's gonna come. If you research this, though, you could turn this right side up. Things don't happen in 5 minutes, but they do start coming forward. It's going to be a long journey to change things. Whatever this is, that might be one of the reasons maybe you're not very interested in dealing with it, because it's going to be a long journey. It's your business, truly, like no judgment, totally no judgment. And I've heard this recently, and I agree. There's no wrong way for you to handle this. It's your life. You're deciding what you want. I feel like the purpose of this reading is to give you a chance to raise the energy so you can enjoy life a lot more. You were meant to enjoy life a lot more. But if you start going out there with the research, it's gonna start the process. But this is kind of like, usually I see this as like a 12-year-old person, or maybe even this one even kind of looks like they're 15 to me for whatever reason. But the point is, at least what I'm used to, like at 15, you're not living your own life. You're not doing everything by yourself. You're still in the process of learning. You got a lot to do still. You got to get into this. You got to learn how to do that. Where I live, you're not allowed to drive until you're 16, and then you got to get your license and go through all that, and then finish school. People usually finish high school around 17 to 18, blah 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 blah, and go into life there. But there's a process. You can get through it. You'll make it through it. You've made it through worse. It's just doing it. You have made it through worse, is what I'm getting. Whoever you're dealing with, this other energy here, when you move forward, if you decide to, let's be fair, if you decide to move forward, they're not going to like it. They're going to kind of think you're wasting your time. They're going to feel like you're inconveniencing them. They're going to feel like it's like, why are you bothering to do that? Like, you think you're going to find something better somewhere else? What type of world do you live in? They're not going to be very supportive. I think that's the shorthand. They're not going to be very supportive. they're not going to help it move forward. You're going to have to do all the work yourself to make this change. So however, you might have convinced somebody to stay in the situation. When you change your mind, they're not going to change theirs. It will be good for them in the long run. They're more likely going to fight it tooth and nail. There's going to be a period here. I feel like there's like if you don't change, you're not going to be happy. If you do change, you will be happy. It's right side up, upside down. It's both. I feel like we got the both. Like if you change this, because I keep seeing both versions. It's like this is supposed to be both ways. If you don't, it's going to be stagnant. It's just going to make you feel like nothing changes. It's just going to stay stagnant. What it is right now is what it's going to stay for who knows how long until you decide to change it. If you move forward with this, you will feel that freedom. You will be on your own, but you will feel free and you'll feel more fulfilled at first. You have to let go of what's going on here to feel that freedom. It's like letting go of what is going on will give you that freedom into other things. You'll be very happy that you did. I'm getting if you decide to, you'll be very happy that you did. It's not guaranteed. It's all pivotal to like if you're willing to research the situation. Because I feel like Aquarius energy that I'm feeling, if you get into it and you really look at it, it's going to ignite something in you. And you're going to be like, you know what, I really do want that and I can have it and I can make it happen and you know you can. That's going to push you forward. There might be just a fear here to look into it because you know once you look into it, if you grasp into that and you start seeing it, you're going to want it. And if you want it, you're going to start moving towards it. Is there anything else I have to say with this? Ooh, 6 of Wands and the 8. Success is there. The 8 is the Strength card. It will be a rocky road, so I hope I'm not painting like a sticky, sweet, happy, sunshine, rainbows situation. It will be treacherous, but I keep feeling like they're like you've gone through worse and succeeded. You know what I mean? So, but when you get through it, you'll have the success you're looking for. But nothing moves forward if you don't decide to engage it. If you don't want to, that's your business. Is that helpful? I think we're good. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.